Page 93, the 24th lesson.
To fling,
To throw,
to toss,
to launch,
fling, flung, to send something through the air, thrown with the hand suddenly and with a violent force. The past tense of fling is flung. The caveman flung the spear at the wild boar.
throw, threw, thrown. To send something into the air with a fast motion of the arm. He threw the ball swiftly.
Toss, tossed. To throw something with the hand lightly and without force. Toss me the box of matches.
Launch, launched. To throw or send something into space. Yesterday, they launched a rocket into space with 2 men in it.
Shade, a device used in front of a window to keep the light out and to make the room dark. A small difference in meaning. A slight difference in color. My sweater has a darker shade of green than yours.
Here are other examples of how man uses his ability to abstract by thinking. He can make an infinite amount of combinations with the numbers from 1 to 10. Numbers are called digits. The word digit means finger. 0 is also a digit. Numbers are called digits because primitive men and babies learn how to count by looking at their fingers and seeing how many there are on both hands. With these 10 digits, we are able to measure any quantity. Page 94. Many years ago, man also invented the alphabet, which is a wonderful invention. With the letters of the alphabet, we make words. Words are made up of 1 or more letters. Each word expresses an idea. An idea is a thought we have in our mind. We need words in order to tell other persons about what we are thinking. If the word is written on a piece of paper, a man's ideas remain there as long as the paper is not destroyed. In this way, we are able to communicate with other persons who lived centuries ago before us. We can see how they thought and find out many things about their civilization.
To communicate means to link one thing with another. A bridge links one side of the river with the other side. We walk across a bridge in order to get to the other side of the river. The principal way in which man communicates with his fellow men is through words. Words are a bridge by which we transfer the ideas we have in our head to the heads of other persons.
We are also able to tell other persons our ideas and feelings through drawings and paintings. This is what an artist does. Sometimes he uses paint of different color to make his pictures. there are only three basic colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. We can get other colors by combining these three basic colors. For example, if we combine yellow and blue, we obtain green. We can also combine each color with black. By doing this, we get a different shade of that color.
In the same way, words have a different shade because they have a slightly different meaning. To fling and to toss mean to throw something into the air, but they have different shade meanings. To fling means to throw something but with force and violence. To toss means to throw something lightly, without force nor violence.
Page 95. Synonyms have the same meaning but a different shade or a small difference in the ideas they bring to mind. It is very important to know the different shade meanings in words because they help us express ourselves in a more exact way. They help us have better control over words and to convince people about our ideas. Here are other verbs with different shade meanings.
To shout,
To scream,
to yell.
to roar.
These four verbs mean to make a loud sound with the mouth. However, each one has a different shade meaning. In music, we deal with sound. Sound is any noise or tone that can be heard. We hear with our ears. Sound is caused by the vibrations of a body in the air. These vibrations produce air waves, which in turn produce sounds. Sound has volume and pitch. Take, for example, the strings of a guitar. The thin strings will produce high tones because they are lighter and vibrate more rapidly. The thick, heavy strings will give lower tones because they vibrate slower because they are heavier. We say that the thinner and shorter a string is, the higher the pitch will be. The thicker and longer the string is, the lower the pitch will be. Volume is caused by the amount of pressure exerted on the guitar string. The more pressure you put on the string, the higher the volume will be. We can hear our radio better by increasing the volume.
To shout and to roar refer to the volume of a sound. Roar, however, has a note of anger in it. The lion roars. To scream and to yell are verbs expressing a high pitch. A woman screams when she is in danger. Children yell when they are out of order. Page 96. What does the word digit mean?
How many digits are there?
How did primitive man learn how to count?
What do words express?
What does to communicate mean?
How are we able to communicate with people that lived before us?
What is a bridge?
How can we also tell other people what we think and feel?
What are the basic colors?
How can we get a darker shade of the same color?
What are shade meanings?
Do synonyms mean exactly the same thing?
What is the difference between to fling and to toss?
What is your favorite color?
What is the difference between to roar and to scream?
Do lions roar when they are angry?
Do you like to hear children yelling?
Do you shout when you want a deaf person to hear you?
Do women scream when they are in danger?
What causes sound?
What is pitch?
What is volume?
Does a thin guitar string have a lower pitch than a thick guitar string of the same length?